Alright, so in this video we're going to talk about creating your design. So you've done some research and you probably made some notes and you found some ideas that you want to put onto a necklace. You've created a couple conversion pixel or two or three or four or 10, whatever niches, however many you're going into. Looked at the retargeting pixel, set up your ad account, set up a page, set up a business manager account at this point. So now we kind of have to start putting things into action here. And this is where some people get stuck when they're creating their design. But I want you to know that we do have options, okay? There's basically two routes we can take. We can create the design ourselves, or we can pay someone to create it for us. Now, when we're paying somebody, it's not going to be a fortune. You can get them done for as little as $5, okay? That's no problem. Now, the first option that I like is creating it yourself. You can use programs like Photoshop or GIMP or any photo or slash image program you prefer. And the way that I taught myself Photoshop is I went to Google and I typed in Photoshop tutorials and I watched. And if I ever got stuck on something, I would go to YouTube and I would just type in how do I with Photoshop. So how do I don't know, make a circular how do I make circular text with Photoshop? I Googled it and they showed me how to create a path and then how to have the text follow that path. And that's how I created the police design. I just simply taught myself how to use Photoshop. If you're going to be in this for a while, and you're probably going to need to be able to do a little bit of work with Photoshop or GIMP or whatever photo or image program you're with. So you should spend some time to learn those. Pick one you like and learn it. My favorite is Photoshop, but I'm not on a Mac, so I don't even know what's on there. And I'm sure they have some great image editing tools on there and programs that are similar to Photoshop, or it may even be available on there. I don't know for sure. Um, the good thing is, if you don't want to create it yourself, you don't have to. You can pay someone to create it. So you can go to sites like Upwork.com and you can hire a designer. Okay, you can go to Fiverr.com, which is what I do, and you can hire a designer. And the way I go on Fiverr is I'll select the top rated sellers, and those are the ones that I want to work with first. And so on the left hand side in Fiverr, you can select top rated, and then you just type in literally like t-shirt designer or a designer or image designer or anything like that. You can't really type in necklace designer because, well, maybe you can, I just never have. But a t-shirt design guy can do a necklace design just as easily because it's basically the same idea. All right. Go to whatever place online you like. There's probably a bunch of others out there that I haven't even listed, but go there, find a designer and hire them. And with Fiverr, I like it because it's a one-off thing. Upwork's a little bit more expensive, and there's places like 99 Designs too, and that place is really expensive, like $180 plus for one design. Although you do get a bunch of really good designs from it. At this point, we don't want to be spending that much. So I would be limiting myself to like $5 per test if I'm going on Fiverr. And yeah, you're going to have to wait a couple days to get it, maybe even like 5 or 7 days sometimes. But if you can't do it yourself, you have no choice. You have to do it. So you might have to plan ahead and have a couple designs that you send over there to get done. And then by the time next week rolls around, you're ready to test them. So um, that's what I do. My preference is I don't have one. I do both. But I do believe you should probably learn. I personally like Photoshop. So create your design now or get one created. You're going to be doing a lot of designs. So I think it's a good idea to learn Photoshop personally, as long term it's going to save you time and money. But that's my personal preference. If you have a program that you like working with, just learn it. And the way you learn it, like I'm not here to teach you how to use Photoshop, okay? It's not difficult to learn. You can use YouTube, you can use Google, and you can literally watch people teach you how to do it for free. So if I were to show you a whole design course on Photoshop, that'd be a whole other ball game, and we wouldn't be talking about selling necklaces here. So the design is important, but bear in mind that if you're on one of those necklaces, it's about an inch wide that you have to work with. So you don't want to jam in a whole bunch of text that's really tiny. You want to make it so people can actually read it. Okay, so you don't want to go nuts with too much text or images that are too complex and they're not going to fit on like an inch square or an inch round or on the heart shape that they have available. Okay, so keep that in mind. Keep your design simple. Keep the text simple and make sure that it stands out. You can even, what I like to do, and as you'll see in my design, I put it on a black background and I did a little white circle around it, and then I put in just the text in a circular pattern, and then I threw an image in the middle. And that did really well because it's simple, it's to the point, and it connected with people. So that's what you want to do. Okay, you don't have to do all circular stuff. You can do regular square. You can do regular writing. I've got a lot working that are not circular actually. So you don't have to get too fancy with it as long as you connect either emotionally or on a humorous level, it's going to work well for you. So go ahead and get your designs created because you're going to need them very soon because we're going to be launching basically our first one on Gear Bubble. First one of many, I should say.